Am I going?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. Episode 5 underway. Derek Papa at long last.
Oh.
How'd you get on this show? Was it your dad?
Probably. That's how I get anything in my career. But it seems like you guys are scraping at the bottom of the barrel now. So
Yeah.
you had what? Murph on. You had Copes on. You had Marcus. So that's
dad.
me. Well, yeah, my dad.
Yeah.
So it's
lest we
me.
forget.
It's me and Greg Silver left.
It's you
or-
and Greg Silver. Because we got to get through everyone that we see on a daily basis, purely political, before we start going for extra candidates.
You made top 5. I feel like that's something to celebrate.
No, I'll take it. I'm just glad, happy to be here. This is look at this setup.
Not bad, right?
This is a step up than the old days of the KNBR off-air podcast.
Yeah. So what's the biggest difference between this off-air podcast and the old one you guys did in the?
Well, we were in the
1050
back studio. It was time to kill in between Giants games. Michael would help and produce and co-hosted, and I was doing it. Some people liked to do it. Some people didn't like to do it. That was a big to-do with Tom Tolver and Em Copeland.
Some people didn't like to do it, but then somehow, whenever they got on, they would seem to love it and be taking up the entire show with their voice.
Yes, dude. The times that Tom did it, he would always be like, I don't want to fucking do that. And then he would go on, and it would just be him talking for like...
Copes, too.
Yeah,
Copes would be like, I'm not doing that shit. And then he'd come on and be like, hold court.
Yeah, but also he would bail. Like, it would be me, Tim, and Tom. We'd be having good conversations, and then Copes would just be like, all right. But some days he'd be into it. Some days he'd be like, all right, I got a softball game, or I got to do fucking something at North Group. So.
He would just bail.
Yeah. What was that? We had Tolbert on that one time, and like 70% of the show, he just talked about like serial killers.
He loves to break it down. He wants to do like a March Madness bracket of serial killers. I think he did that on his new podcast. And there was one episode where he talked about it was a Yankees documentary, and he was infatuated with this former player who was dating like a teenager, like a 15-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Mickey Mantle, right?
No. It was somebody else. But like he was like, guys, do you realize that he not only brought her over to his house, but also the entire family lived there? Oh. And me, you, Walter, and Danny were like, God, Tom, this is terrible. He was like, yeah, no, it's fucking nuts, right?
That was good content, though.
It was good content. So how does this work? Like, this kind of feels like Inside the Actor Studio meets like Hot Ones.
Yeah, no, it is kind of.
With beer.
Yeah.
Should we touch on the beer?
Yeah, touch on the beer.
As our loyal viewers know, each episode we sample a new beer. It's all to help our sweet boy Austin Scott get more of a palate for beer. As I think this will be your 4th ever beer in your life.
I'm really excited for this one. Like last week, West Coast Jasmine Rice IPA, like that was rough for me. Like I was swinging that, like I was making a lot of faces. I was like looking at Mario like half the time, I'm suffering. I can't do this.
That one was a big step for how early it was.
You finished it.
But I finished it, and now I think this is going to be significantly better. Like I'm actually looking forward. I would say before taking a sip of beer, this is the first time I'm like kind of looking forward to drinking a beer.
Dude,
that's incredible.
That means we're making market progress.
I think the West Coast IPA helped because I think I hit kind of a bottom with it, and I feel like it can't get that much worse.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
So wait, what's your hang up with beer, Austin? I figure going to ASU, you'd have a pretty good palate with beer. No?
Yeah, I haven't talked about this before, but essentially.
No, for the listeners that haven't, or the watchers that haven't.
Essentially, I've always hated beer. I've never seen the point in drinking it.
You're more of a sex on the beach guy.
More of a sex on the beach guy.
And also a fan of the drink as well.
Yeah. Fan of the drink, secondary.
I'm getting big Sierra Nevada vibes. From
this is good.
A pale ale type of thing.
Eel River.
So essentially in college, I would drink shots or a cocktail or like a mixed drink, margarita. Like I never drink a beer. I think it's filling. I don't get buzzed or drunk quite as fast as I would if I were to drink a different beverage.
No, I don't encourage
it tastes better.
No, hey, I'm not going to yuck his yum, as we say on Dirty Work. And you're not a beer guy, but I'm a big hot sauce guy. And I did bring some of this.
Oh, wow.
So it is a combo of Inside the Actor Studio and Hot Ones.
Yes,
You're right.
it is now.
You had a little hot sauce in your sleeve.
Copes brought me this the other day. This is from his trip.
Oh, God.
And it's Nando's Peri Peri sauce. And it's extra
Nando's?
bloody hot.
Nando's Peri sauce.
Extra bloody sauce. So I don't know if that's a good thing you want in a hot sauce when it's bloody.
Did you bring us chips or anything? How are we
No,
gonna
I
get
didn't. I
it?
just brought the bottle. I thought we could look at the
we got-
bottle.
where's-
Oh, I thought you were gonna have us sample it.
Let me see this.
I can open it up. We could try it out.
Where's chips when you need them?
So we're gonna be mixing this.
Yeah,
with,
why not?
With beer.
Are we gonna
at
put this in our beer?
We're just gonna like
10:45.
We're just
It's gonna be a hell of a show today, gentlemen.
we're just gonna like
Yeah.
finger it into our mouth.
Yeah, you're used
I'm
to
gonna,
that.
I'm gonna need some alcohol for this.
Well,
Well,
Austin,
that's why you got the beer in your hand, Austin. Stop complaining.
So you guys had an episode on Dirty Work one time, or was that the Tolbert and Cope show?
Still the Tolbert and Cope show.
That was
where,
the Tolbert and Copes. You guys had a whole hot sauce challenge thing.
Yeah, so I'm a big hot sauce guy. Love the show Hot Ones.
Yeah.
Great form of interviewing somebody. And I got their hot sauce, which is like, what is it, like Atomic? Or no, or yeah, like whatever
The bomb.
Yeah,
They're
well-
always like weapons based.
Yeah, like the bomb is like the one that everybody hates. All the celebrities like, ew, that's gross. Like, I never could find that one.
Yeah.
There's like one that's like the bomb, but it's not. It's like a lower level that I have in
Okay.
my apartment. So I brought that over. I brought over the last dab is the one like the last one they use when they drink the 10 sauces or eat the 10 sauces on the wings. I brought that over. I tried it out. I kind of can handle hot sauce. Tom was fine.
big deal.
Copes he was sweating his ass off. Tim tried the lower level one, and then Tom like didn't get affected by the last dab, so he went in for more on like a lower level one, like put it all over a wing, ate it, and then he was dying. So
Yeah.
those were good times.
And that soundbite made it to the intro of your new Dirty Work.
oh yeah, where it's like, oh, it's hot.
Yeah,
it's
you
hot.
go,
That's
oh, it's
me.
hot. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah.
It's always a problem the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Catch it.
I
so-
was
it's
in
such
the.
a- sorry,
I was in the control room testing out some of those hot sauces.
Oh, did
when
you
guys
try
had the
too?
show. I was kind of a wimp with it. I think I had bread or crackers that I put it on, and I didn't really go full bore with it. So it didn't affect me that much. But it really matters the amount of sauce you put on there.
Oh yeah, a little dab will do you depending on the sauce, but yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. So what's the Scoville rating of this bad boy?
Oh, let's see here.
They say it on the bottle. I thought Sean Evans made up that term.
He usually does, but like, dude, the science behind like hot sauce and like people that love hot foods, like
Yeah.
there's this company I think in North Carolina called like Pucker Butt.
Pucker butt.
Yeah, where it's all about ghost peppers
Yeah, I've
and
heard of this.
all that shit, and the people that they bring in for the show sometimes to like, oh yeah, the science of the Scoville levels and everything. Like, God, that's such nerds.
It's like an exponential scale, right? Like it's like decibels.
Something like that, yeah. But I don't know if it's on here, but I'm just willing to try it out.
At some point, you're not doing it for taste. You're doing it for like the
thrill.
The exhibition,
thrill,
yeah.
the
You know, I've always
exhibition.
liked. I'm a big fan of Man vs. Food.
Yeah, Man versus Food. That was
so-
that Spike TV?
No, I think
God,
it was
rest
like-
in peace, Spike
Like TV,
TV.
1,000
Yeah.
Ways to Die.
TV for men.
we need that
TV
today.
for
men.
Don't we need more shows just for men?
We really need more shows
Jesus,
for men. All
what the hell
these
happened to our society?
ridiculous. Bring back Spike TV.
I enjoy spicy food, like as far as restaurants go. Like there's nothing that's really like commercial that I can't handle. But when he's starting to get into like the exhibitionist stuff, that's when I'm like, this isn't enjoyable.
I honestly can't handle spice, but I will hop on board and
All
try
right, so
the spiciest thing.
feed that to Austin with your pinky.
Off the finger? Yeah. You want me to get
Please
that
do
off
it.
your
Please
pinky?
do it.
Do
Please
it.
I
do
will
it.
100%
Austin,
Please
please
do it. Please do
All right,
it.
if you're good with it, I will suck that
do it.
pinky
Please
right
Do
now.
do
it.
it.
Please do it.
Please do it.
Please do it.
I will.
You guys have to do it now.
Well, it's already built up too much, Austin.
Love you, Derek.
Love you too, man.
All right.
Holy crap! Don't you
Do it.
He doesn't want me to do it.
Austin, you have to take.
I'll do it.
Austin, don't.
I have no.
Don't let him think about it anymore.
I have no
Just do it.
hesitation
Just
here.
do it. Suck
Give
his
me your
finger.
pinky, Derek.
Suck his goddamn
I'm gonna
finger.
look. Oh, shit.
Oh my
God.
god. Oh my god.
That's
Man.
awesome.
He
I
took
gotta
that.
say, Austin, it's been a long time since I had my picky sucked. That was pretty good.
He took it to the base.
Went as far down as I could.
That looked teethy,
That's
dude.
good. That's good.
Was that
Wow.
teethy?
There's a lot of teeth on that one.
Yeah, I did. I did get a little.
Austin,
teeth in
you'd
there.
be the most popular girl in school.
That was aggressive.
Not bad.
I think you've done that before.
Yeah.
Wow.
That looked like you looked very comfortable doing that.
I'm gonna try.
I am thrilled.
I would call it confidence, not experience.
There's
but
got to
I'm
be
confident.
chips. There's got to be chips or something. I don't want to. I just want. I want to.
No,
Take
We're
it
all
off
gonna
his
take a
fucking
suck off my
pinky,
pinky.
Jack.
Come on. now.
Yeah. You're gonna suck my pinky. I'm gonna suck Derek's pinky.
And go to the base.
Austin's gonna suck all of
Go
our
to the
pinkies.
base.
All right, this hot sauce is not very hot.
It's not. No.
Okay.
It's already fading out.
It's
too.
lukewarm.
Yeah.
Wow.
How are you? You think it's fading out on you?
Yeah, it's already fading out. I haven't even drank this.
I need a
sip
real
of the beer.
challenge there.
Well, you also
folks.
got
Let's take it.
Derek's like skin particles to
Yeah.
sort of calm it down
Yeah.
a little bit.
I sucked
missed
off
some
as
of my
much as
skin
I
here,
could.
actually.
Yeah.
In a nail.
Austin whittled it like a Boy Scout.
Austin
You hate
just
to
takes
see
like a
it.
fingernail out of his mouth.
Just bites it off.
Yeah, you hate to see it. I have a bit of an announcement.
Let me get no.
was gonna
You and
say,
I
yeah,
need to
thank
do
you.
one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Small
That
announcement.
felt like
While
a
I
good
do this,
moment
though,
for us. I think that makes
That was
us
a
a
real
lot
bonding
closer.
moment.
Awesome.
I think you and I have. We were. Wait. You did the Super Bowl a couple of years ago in Vegas.
Yeah.
We've
The
hung
one-
out a
the
lot,
one passed, Loder.
but
Sorry.
I've never bonded someone like that.
Like that.
very
Yeah.
vinegary.
Is that the first time anyone's sucked your pinky, top to bottom? Or?
Oh, this is a
I just
family
told
show.
you. I just told you it's been a while, but I'm not telling you like if
right.
I've done it before or not.
Well, I'm glad to be on the list.
I guess
yeah,
I just
that's,
did.
that's
Gotta be
not
on the
very
list.
hot, but it's very vinegary. It's like it's like a buffalo sauce that at the last minute takes an exit into like more of a piqué chili.
Yeah, that's not very hot.
No.
And it says extra bloody hot on it. I think they're lying. Is this is this Australia or this is Australia?
I think it's Australian. Yes.
They don't know what they're doing.
No,
with
they
that
don't
sauce.
know. They know beer, but they don't know and kangaroos and koalas,
Koalas
who
and,
apparently have chlamydia.
Yeah.
Did
Right.
not know that.
Oh.
Yeah,
But it's okay because Copes brought a condom
I heard
to the
Copes
zoo.
gave it to all of them. He was the
He was the
instigator.
one
He
that
was
started the
patient
whole.
zero.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What do you think of this beer?
I was thinking about it. The Kona Big Wave is still by far my number one.
Yeah.
Like I actually think I could go to a bar and order that. This is
blonde ale,
this
okay.
is decent.
I don't really like this that much.
I like
It's
it.
pretty good.
Yeah.
This
Neil
is-
River.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
get it. I wouldn't get it.
Did you guys steal this from Holder's office?
No. Programming note. Last episode with Marcus when I made the swift decision to not steal, but I would say borrow.
Roll the clip.
You can't borrow beer.
I think you did
Okay,
steal
I'll
it.
give
I
it
don't
back
think we
later.
borrowed it because we
You're gonna
drank.
borrow beer.
But
you gotta ask
Holder
them.
was more mad at me for taking the beer from his office than anything I've ever. Was more mad
Oh,
at
yeah.
me than anything I've ever.
I
done.
never see him lay the hammer down as like a program director. That was the first thing he said. What the
That's
fuck?
such a
To my
horror
fucking
thing. too.
beer?
That's
That's
such
my
a
beer.
horror
Pissed.
thing.
We did replace the beer.
What next? My bowling ball?
We did replace the beer, but he was very pissed. You had to really get in his good graces again after
Yeah.
that.
So what'd you do? Did you suck his pinky?
I sucked
sucked
his
his
pinky.
pinky.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get in my good graces.
No, I just sincerely apologized, and he can't stay mad at me for. too
No,
long.
he's a big softie.
Well, the funny
he's
thing
a
is that we
cuddly
had,
teddy
like
bear.
there's no going back to like argue that Loder didn't steal the beer. We have it on video going. So he's on the off-air episode 4 going like, so you took these beers from Holder's office, and Jack just like looks at the camera and goes, yes, I did.
Yep. Stolen from Holder's
Look at me.
office.
Look at me right now.
They
Jack
were in
Loder,
his possession.
Stealing beer.
They were in
I
his
stole
possession,
these
now they're
beers from
mine.
Michael Holler.
So is that some form of like entitlement you have, where it's like,
No,
you know,
well, okay.
Nice.
Let
That's
me.
good. That's a great segue.
That's a great segue.
I think so.
Stupid fucking segue.
Wow.
Holler has told me before when he has had like almanacs or fieldworks in his office, go ahead and grab one. So I didn't even think to.
He said one.
I was so well, but they're packaged in foursomes.
He said one.
He said
I
one.
was so comfortable.
What, you can drink them all like 4 at once? You can rip one off?
But then what's he gonna do? Is he gonna give a 3 with an empty like?
Yes.
No, that's
The man likes his beer.
that's
You
uncouth.
can't. It'd be insane to have
That's uncouth.
a one empty thing on a 4-pack.
glad-
That would be. I can't even fathom it.
When Holler came in here too, Jack was not in the room when Holler like accused.
Yeah,
us
I
of
got in
stealing
the
beer.
bathroom.
Me and
we,
Michael,
were,
totally,
we were caught off guard, dude.
we were caught off.
Mari
guard.
was in the room.
Did
It
we
was a
pin it on
scary
Jack?
moment.
We said right away it wasn't us. We like
Yeah, I was like, that
immediately
was
deflected.
Jackson
We
Loder.
did. We immediately deflected it.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're doing this because this is no longer an interview. This is an intervention. We're going to talk to you about your entitlement. I've seen
Wow.
it.
Wow.
Were you
Where have you seen it before?
well, around the office? You think that you could just come in and say,
We
I
have
want to be
3
on
exam-
air and I want my takes on the air. I want everyone
This
should
is
talk
good.
about this today. That's the hot topic in Jack Loder's world.
You always.
Are you
come,
an only child?
No, you come in and you ask. You attack me every day. You're like,
I physically attack you.
yeah, you physically beat me, and then when you're done with that, you say my takes suck.
You're kind of the new guy, you know.
I'm still.
Yeah,
It's
so
been
you got to
2
take your
years.
lumps when you start out.
Dude, when I started in the radio industry, every day I got beat. Not even kidding.
I get beat every. That's me.
Yeah.
But the reason you're still getting beat down is because people feel like you never took your lumps and just took them with a grain of like you never just.
You got to be paddled.
I've taken more lumps than anyone.
Right, but you were always pushing back against.
You could
it.
take more lumps.
Yeah.
Your lump.
You're supposed to not. You're supposed to have like a month of not pushing back and just take
In
it.
the beginning, I just took it.
You kind of pushed back pretty early.
I don't know about that.
Day 2, you were like, "Why are you guys making fun of me?"
Yeah, man, you're kind of like Des Bryant refusing to take the shoulder pads of Roy Williams. You know that reference.
I don't know that reference.
Tez Bryant was a rookie with the Cowboys. He refused to, do all the hazing. So he told Roy Williams, "Go fuck yourself."
But I do think the reason that you'd probably do to this day take most of the hazing now is because you push back on it harder than anyone. So people kind of double down on it.
Right. It's kind of my
So
personality.
but it's kind of firing back on you, your strategy.
I'd rather be shit on than nothing at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Well, let's get
Nothing at all is a bad sign.
Let's get to the bottom of this. Tell me about your childhood. What
You guys
is your
want
favorite
to sit on the
curse word?
couch? You switch.
Yeah,
to
I can lie down on the couch.
You can sprawl, but I'm staying.
You stay.
So
You and I have a close bond now.
I don't
This
mind.
is good stuff. So not an only child.
Not only child.
Not an only child.
No, I have many brothers and sisters.
Many.
But none of which are from my father and mother. So it's all step and.
Wait, how the hell does that work?
You're the only
I'm
product.
the
You're
only,
the only product.
I'm the only
of,
product of my father, Greg Papa,
Yeah.
and my mother, Lisa.
And I consider people products of their parents.
Yes, I'm a
Look at
product.
this. Take a look at this.
Much
product.
like the McDonald's CEO
So-
who refers to his burger as a
So
product.
it's not like C-pop, F-pop, K-pop, like those. Like, do your other siblings
K-pop.
don't? Your other
We
siblings don't
adopted
go
a
by like
Korean
letter
girl
and
named
pop.
K-pop.
K-pop.
Keith Papa.
She's a demon hunter.
Keith Pop.
No, it's only me being the product of my father, Greg, and my mother, Lisa.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
And then my dad remarried, my mom remarried. So altogether, I have 8 brothers and sisters from
wow.
different marriages. Yeah.
Cue the
How hard
cue
was-
the Greg Papa. Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
How hard was the divorce on you as a child?
I was like a baby. I was 2 years old.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Must have been pretty rough.
Why did your parents get divorced? The reason I asked that is because we had Jordo, Dirty Work's favorite little sister, in the office yesterday, and
Was she asking them?
She's talking to Kyle Haar, and she finds out that Kyle Haar's parents are divorced.
Yeah.
And her parents are also divorced, and she just she has no filter kind of when it.
Oh,
comes
I've
to
noticed.
that. And she just goes, "So why are your parents divorced?" Like in front of everyone, like you can't just ask someone that.
Yeah, but she'll, she's an open book. She'll tell you
an
what's
open
going on in
book.
her life. So then when it's, if the roles reverse, she's like, so tell me, what happened to your parents' failed marriage?
Yeah.
Right. Because she's very willing to get into it.
I feel like certain people have the type of personality to just be able to ask that.
Yeah.
That's kind of like you. Where
I was just gonna say, I would ask that.
you'll suck,
Yeah.
you'll
And,
suck
like,
people's
wouldn't feel
pinkies
weird
too.
about it. 100%.
Yeah.
You don't know what his pinky's been, my friend.
Yeah, that's true.
do
God,
it
that's
again.
bleak.
Sorry. All right. Let's not go that far.
Once is fine enough.
All right. One and done. All right.
We can get into some meat and potatoes here.
Good dish.
Growing up, like in close proximity to the A's and the Raiders, at what age were you kind of like, this is cool? I have this cool privilege that a lot of other kids don't have. Like, this is cool.
Probably like when I was 10 years old. And so I grew up really like more of a TV and movie kid. Like I loved Saturday Night Live. I loved comedy, and that was my goal in life, was just to be like a performer on that. And I've always gravitated towards like, film and comedy. So I really didn't get interested in sports until probably when I was 8 or 9, when my dad was, willing to take me to games, go to the A's game. I spent my whole summers hanging out with my pops and Ray Fosse, and we'd go travel, and it was awesome. And then I realized, okay, I'm getting something that a lot of kids don't get. Like this is like kids don't get to go to batting practice and hang out with Eric Burns or Rich Aurelio when my dad was doing the Giants game. So that was awesome. And I realized like maybe I can mix the two together. Maybe I can be funny, and maybe I can talk about sports. And as I got older, I realized like I'm really into this, and more so football. Like when my dad took me to the Raider games, that was later on, where he was like, "Oh, the Raider game's a little too more crazy."
The black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black hole and everything. So
I was scared of Raider games as a kid, by the way.
how could you not be?
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
like honestly, like it's in my opinion. Sorry, Niner fans. Like that's the best fan base when it comes to
100%.
football. They're fucking
Fair.
nuts.
Yeah.
Such a lost art.
It's not the same anymore. The black hole. You got to have a family-friendly environment, and at Legion Stadium in Las Vegas. So I love that, and I gravitated towards the Raiders. So yeah, the perfect thing. Like I didn't realize until like when I got to college, I listened to my dad in Lund every day on the Afternoon Delight, and I was like, this is perfect. Like I want to get into radio where you can be funny, you can be goofy, and also talk about sports. So yeah, I learned early on when I was traveling with my pops, more so with baseball. I got to go so many different ballparks. Got to meet, famous former baseball players or current baseball players. So I don't take it for granted. That was an opportunity of a lifetime to like have my dad show me around the world, not the world, but show me around,
Yeah.
the US of A and take in different types of sports.
So have you found that you've been able to merge your passion for comedy and film and all that kind of stuff with your passion for sports and with radio? Have you been able to scratch that itch?
Yeah, because I think that it's really important that you know pop culture when you do radio. And that's something that young Tony's learning every day now.
Yeah, there's a whole segment built out.
That's why that's a good segment because they could teach him. But yeah, sports radio is fun because you give hot takes and you can scream at the top of your lungs and be a fan and have fans come on. But I think it's a mix of a lot of different things. Like I really got into it because really John Lund to me is my biggest mentor in radio.
Wow.
Where he taught me like how you make a rundown, how like what are the the best topics and how you incorporate pop culture into a radio show.
Yeah.
And
So why'd you fire him?
that was me.
Oh, I was going to assume.
No, that was a terrible day. But no,
Roll the clip.
yeah. Here's a clip of Derek Papa firing John Lund.
If your parents divorced like a 4 on the scale of 1 to 10, what is?
Oh, John Lund being fired is way bigger than my parents getting divorced.
And Tolbert in the same day.
Yeah, no, honestly, that is. I mean, we could get to that a little bit. Like that was the worst.
Yeah.
Honestly, the worst day in radio I've ever had. But no, like Lund, like I gravitated towards the show because they referenced Anchorman every day. And like that's something like in dude culture where like if you reference a movie, then one guy's like, oh yeah, I know that movie too. Now we're friends. Like that's That's kind of the thing with sports radio. I think that's why people kind of gravitate towards Dirty Work sometimes, where me and Copes are just referencing movies. I reference The Simpsons all the time or Conan or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I think you need to have that. I think it's where if you just do sports all the time, it gets a little mundane, gets a little boring. You got to mix it up a little bit and be goofy and funny.
So you're consciously, when you're making your rundown for Dirty Work in the morning or night before, are you consciously trying to put in pop culture topics, things that you're interested in at the time?
If it's something that I know is going to get the attention of the audience, attention of all three of us, like me, Copes, and Tim have the same interest when it comes to movies, I think. So, like, when we see that there's going to be a Jackass 5, we're like, that's a segment.
Yeah.
Like, that's a quick, like in the 15 block, like, that's a quick segment we can all, dick around about. Like, there's other things. Like, I try to, like, have fun with it. Like, everyday stuff more so. Like, we're all Seinfeld guys. So anything that's, like, happens to you that's like a Seinfeld episode, we all kind of bring it up on the show.
There is, like, a curb element to your show where you guys will talk, and you did it yesterday, where some sort of, like, societal norm or something where you kind of break it down. Is this okay? Like,
yeah, we talked about, like, with the Max Crosby trade being, backed out of by Baltimore. We were like, what's the biggest moment in your life where you were like, it's like a thing, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And also, like, what's the biggest moment when it comes to sports with that topic? Like, we brought up Carlos Correa and Bill Belichick backing out of the Jets job.
But I think that's a really cool way to merge sports and just, like, life stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the audience has to relate to you. If they don't, then they're not going to care.
Yeah.
Like, people will care about your opinion on sports, but if it's where you try to do the everyday life stuff and you're like, talking about what kind of car you drive. Like, I know Gary Radnich did that stuff, and it was more of like a shtick thing where he was kind of talking down to the audience, but people knew that. They were inside of the joke. Where if you do that where it's like you don't talk about everyday life stuff or you don't talk about your struggles as, a parent or a husband or like everyday just shit, then I think that sometimes the audience is like, all right, you just talk about sports 24/7. Let me get to know the person.
Yeah.
Was that like a concerted effort when you guys started Dirty Work, like to be very everyman relatable? It kind of seems like
I think we're just being us.
The hallmark.
Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna act like we cracked the code, we solved the formula of what's sports radio. I don't know if people like our show. I think a good deal of people like it. I think it's niche, but I fully acknowledge that like me, Copes, and Tim, and more so me, that's a gigantic risk to put on drive time radio. And we all know why we're doing it. It's because, times have changed, radio's not the same. So I fully acknowledge that. But I'm still baffled when we go to like Jack's restaurant or different places and people are like, I love the show. And the biggest compliment, honestly, I could get is if someone's like, you know what, man, when I heard you were taking over, I'm like, damn, I don't know, Derek Papa, what the fuck? What the fuck they doing over there? And and people that love Tom for 28 years, I totally get that. But then people are like, you know what? I changed my tune about you. I actually like the show.
Right.
That means the most to me because
It's authentic.
you're being honest.
Yeah.
Well, like if you just kiss my ass, like cool. You know, you think I'm the best thing ever. I know you're lying. But if you're like, I thought you were gonna be shitty. Actually, you're pretty good. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What's life like being a producer and a host? Like, give like a little peek behind the curtain, as off-air transparent as you can be. I mean, it sounds hard as fuck.
Well, I think some people don't realize that, and I'm not like trying to do a sob story here, but like, yeah, me and Greg Silver, we don't just do the show. We have to come up with the rundown. We have to book the guests. So, you know, this is why we're doing it, honestly. Like, they're putting us in the spot because we can do 2 jobs at once. We're producing, we're hosting, and I've been producing for 10 years, so I know how to do it. I'm still learning how to be a host. I'll completely admit that, but it's tough. I really wish I got into this and I was given the opportunity, like most hosts, where a producer comes in and helps you out. Like that was me for Copes, that was me for Bonte, that was me for Guy Haberman and John Middlecoff. I don't get that luxury, but it is what it is. That's the circumstance I'm in, so.
It's kind of the way radio is now.
Yeah, I always find it funny when you walk into the control room during a break and you're like, hey, what do you want to talk about with the Dirty Work guys?
Yeah. By the way,
me.
I'm one of the dirty work
And also,
guys.
that's me. Well, the weirdest thing is when I'm texting people to come on the show and they're like, so who am I coming on with? I'm like, Adam Copeland and me.
It's
And
me.
they're like, oh.
They're like, wait, am I on the air right now? Is this the show?
It's like in Ratatouille when all the wait staff is gone, so the 2 main characters like have to rollerblade around the restaurant serving everyone.
You know, I gotta be honest. I'm not a big Ratatouille guy.
Wow. When's the last time you saw
It's my
Ratatouille?
favorite Pixar movie.
Is it really?
It's
Yeah.
such-
Well, okay,
such-
during
so
COVID, me
timeless.
and my roommates, they're Pixar people. So they were like, you haven't seen
people. They're
Ratatouille?
peepees?
You haven't seen Wall-E? And I'm like, no. And then they put it on. So I've seen Ratatouille, but like I haven't seen it on multiple watches where I'm like, oh, this is really good. I've seen it once. It's solid.
I think, give it another shot. When's
Okay,
the last
I
time you
will.
watched it?
COVID, so 6 years ago.
Let's watch it together.
Wall-E, let's do it. Wall-E is pretty good, like more for like a silent film.
Yeah, it's like a Charlie Chaplin film.
One of my favorites actually is Up, but only like
Oh
the
my
first
God, dude.
the first 5 minutes of it.
You what?
Yeah.
That's sadistic.
What?
You only like the saddest part
No,
ever?
I'm with you.
talking
I'm with you in
No,
the
like,
first
dude,
the first 5 minutes are the best 5 minutes.
That captures you. Where like I took my little brother to go see Up. I'll never forget. I got to go to the movie theater, and they're like, there's no words spoken. It's just about a man and his wife.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And as
Could
they
be its
go-
own short film.
Yes, and as they go through the years, and then there's one scene where they're in the hospital, and you can tell, you understand that the wife is pregnant, but then they cut to a scene where they're in the hospital and she's crying, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah,
And
dude.
they do it in a way
Yeah.
that is like kid friendly too.
They do, but like
Right.
it's clearly a miscarriage, you know,
Right.
scene.
Ubiquity.
And my little brother at like 7 or 8 year old, like, you know, turns to me and goes, so what's happening here? I'm like, I gotta have the conversation with you right now.
baby, you like in the
baby
theater.
died.
The baby died in the womb.
Yes.
That's definitely on the Mount Rushmore. Up.
Up,
For sure.
Up is good. I'm more of a Toy Story and Bug's Life guy, but
Um,
little
yeah.
bug.
I want to go back to
Flick.
the types of things that sort of influence your Dirty Work show.
Okay.
You mentioned growing up and being really into comedy, watching stuff like The Simpsons and Conan O'Brien. You and I sort of have bonded a little bit over watching Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
Jonesy.
Huge influence for me. He's kind of the thing that gravitated me towards Conan and the Late Night with Conan show was how like ridiculous and silly their bits are, and how they kind of lean into it just being like ridiculous and over the top, and that's kind of where the comedy comes from. Right. I think that's one of the beautiful parts of radio. And that's I'm assuming that's kind of what gravitated you towards radio, is how like kind of corny it can be, but in an endearing way.
Yeah.
What's talk about a little bit about how you come up with like a radio bit, like a Dirty Work bit.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest. All the bits that like people associated with me back in the day when I was working for another station, like the Caboose Pistol or the Truth Machine, those were the brainchild of John Lund. So I stole those
Okay.
from him, and I think you have to have goofy bits. I think like going back to just sports talk for 4 hours. I'm sorry, but like you got to make the audience laugh a little bit too.
Yeah.
And that's why Tom was fantastic.
Yeah.
So when you come up with radio bits, the dumber it is, the better. Like when I first started, I was just pitching everything to my hosts, and if they were into it, we ran with it. If they weren't, then we stopped doing it.
What's the dumbest bit that you ever pitched?
Grab bag.
No, that was really more Tim. Tim one day was like, we're trying to come up with a segment. He was like, let's just go around the NBA, you know, like a little NBA grab bag. And then Cope
Came up with that?
Cope started laughing. He goes, "What the fuck is that? NBA grab bag?" And then
grab bag.
And then all three of us,
NBA
and then all three of us
grab
like
bag.
were talking out, be like, "Well, what if it wasn't NBA?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "That's like we're all children of late night talk shows."
Yeah.
Cope's more so. He still watches all their
Yeah,
shows.
he's the last guy that still watches like
Jimmy Fallon.
yeah, or like the some show that we didn't even know was on anymore, like the Craig. He probably still watches the Craig Ferguson show on some channel that's it's still on. or something.
And that's what I want to do with sports talk radio, where Craig Ferguson, more so, I think, than Conan. Conan was goofy as fuck. But Craig Ferguson, he had a talking skeleton and secretariat like a dude in a horse costume just run around the stage. And that's what I want to do with Dirty Work.
That's amazing.
With Conan,
what
like,
it's all about.
Yeah, like with Conan, like his bits were so dumb, but they just made you
I
laugh.
mean, the masturbating bear.
The masturbating
like,
bear.
the stupidest shit ever.
His guy, the recliner of rage, which I
Recliner
think
of
you-
Rage, Pierre Bernard.
Yeah, it's a ball of clay right now.
There used to be a guy that was in his audience to be like, "We're not talking about that tonight. Oh, where's my kayak? I'm so pissed." And they cut to him like, on top of like a waterfall, like like falling it off.
The interrupter, they would just have like
Oh,
a
the
guy.
interrupter.
They would just have a guy come in from the side of the stage and like interrupt Conan in the middle of the monologue and be like, "Excuse me," and he'd like look like a pirate.
Yeah.
It would make no sense.
No,
so
dude.
so dumbest thing you've ever.
Dumbest
pitched.
thing I've ever pitched. Okay.
Austin sucking your finger.
Yeah. I didn't pitch that, man.
It's the sexiest thing he's
I
ever.
allowed
Yeah.
it.
Funniest.
A couple weeks ago, me and Rick Tittle did this. It was called Sports Personality Improv. There's something years ago where Rick and another co-host, it was in like the dog days of summer, there was no topics. And I was like, what if you guys, what if you just like, what if we just took like Bay Area personalities or sports personalities and wrote them down, and we also did like scenarios they're in, and just put them in a hat, and you do like impressions or, and impersonations of these individuals and just kind of act it out. And Rick was into it. The other radio host was like, we'll try it out. It was another goofy host. And we started doing it, and one of the scenarios was Al Davis smoking a doobie. And I
It's
laughed
like
my
an
ass
improv
off.
exercise. I like this.
And then the other host was like so put off by that, just be like, that's so inappropriate. The guy's passed away. What the hell are we doing here? And he threw the mug with all the names in it, and I had to pick it up. And then I'll never forget Rick Tittle just being like, "You're not going to make him pick up all those names, are you?" I pitched a lot of dumb stuff throughout the years. It's hard to remember all of them, but I have no shame when it comes to like, let's just try this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But if it catches on like NBA grab bag, then it becomes a segment.
Low,
like that's the
low
thing.
risk, high reward.
I feel like that's the thing I appreciate the most about just the whole concept of Dirty Work is you guys kind of it's. I feel like it's a combination, and this is just. I feel like radio in general is seen as like a quote unquote dying industry, and I feel like
Yeah.
for Dirty Work, it's kind of like a
Go on.
almost nothing to lose. Like, just it's the epitome of like let's try a bunch of stuff and like whatever sticks, and like a lot has been able to stick through just the unique segments you guys have been able to do.
The show is kind of just throwing shit at a wall
Yep.
and see what happens. And look, we know what's going on in radio.
I feel like that's what we have to do.
But we
is
don't
throw
want
shit
to,
at
like,
the wall.
I don't want to make it come across like we're just mailing it in. Like, I come in and I put a rundown together. When it comes to, like, talking sports, I want to be serious about it. But at the same time, let's be fun. And, we know what it is. It's me on the air. It's Tim on the air. It's Copes. Just trying to have a good time. If you like it, cool. If you don't, well, sorry.
No.
It is 20 hours a week of straight sports talk X's and O's. I feel like is either there's a very small segment of people who are going to find that interesting.
Yeah.
Or it's just kind of a thing of the past. Like you have to be, people's attention spans are shorter now, especially like the job we do with like packaging and making things clippable. Like we're always thinking about how to capture people's attention right away. And I feel like being able to joke and being able to be super off the cuff for a big portion of your show is like actually a big advantage. And
Well, that's podcasting today. Like, let's be honest, podcasting is killing radio, and people don't do 4-hour podcasts unless you're Joe Rogan. You have like a guest on for that long, but it's short burst. Like, like Larry Krueger, he's doing Niners Nightly for 1 hour, and then his Krug show. I don't think it goes 4 hours. It's where people just want to hear your favorite teams. If you talk Niners, just talk Niners for an hour, but like to talk 4 hours of Niners, that's difficult.
Yeah.
That's why you got to mix it up, and that's why I think the best podcasts. Like, I listen to a lot of sports podcasts. One of my favorites is Smartless with Jason Bateman and Will Arnett and Sean Hayes. And they're just sticking around. They're just, three friends. And
being relatable though.
exactly. And that's the point of the show is I really don't care who the guest is. Like, if it's someone I like, cool. But, like, if it's, some director that I have no clue their work, if they're just on there and they're all just, cracking jokes, that's fun to me. And that's what I want Dirty Work to be, is where you feel like you're, like we call the audience the filth. Like you're one of us. Like you're hanging out with all of us. And I know we're not as interesting as, a podcast with Jason Bateman, but, if you think like you're having a good time, like you're hanging out with your buddies, then I hope that's what you get with Dirty Work.
Do you feel like being part of like the afternoon show helps with that? Like being able to be a little more goofier and stray away from sports? Or do you think that, does that not matter as much?
With being the drive time show, you mean?
Yeah, just being in the 2 to 6 slot. Does that, I guess, just on paper add a little more freedom to kind of explore a little more?
Not really, because I feel like that's like prime time.
Yeah.
And I fully acknowledge, like, that's weird that I'm in that spot. Like, a lot of people, they work for years to get to 2 to 6, to drive time radio, whether it's the morning or afternoon. And I know that I've leapfrogged a lot of people that worked hard. And it's the circumstances of radio right now where, like I said, you try to get someone in there that's cheaper, working, doing 2 jobs at once. But I don't, it's not lost on me that I'm in that spot. And also, like, it's 2 to 6. This is drive time. This is what Tom Tolbert did for 28 years. Don't take it lightly. But at the same time, you can have fun and put on an entertaining show. But you're not doing a night show. You're not doing a weekend show. You're doing drive time. So have some respect with it, and don't, you can have fun, but like don't take it for granted, like what you're doing.
I feel like you're more qualified than you're giving yourself credit for, though.
I appreciate that.
Like you have done 2 stations, you produce shows with big time personalities.
But I've never been on the air before, so just going back to like the day that, I'll talk about that. Like the day that John Long got fired at Tom, like that was, like I know like that was the day I got my opportunity, but I don't look fondly on that day. Like I hate it. I'll never forget.
Marcus said it was like his dog getting hit by a car and then someone flipping him the keys.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
No, I totally understand what he's saying with that, because that day started with us knowing we're going to have a meeting all individually, and I know that, when that happens, it means someone's being let go. The night before was Klay Thompson's return with the Dallas Mavericks with the Warriors, so I wanted Tom on the show. I needed Tom on the show to talk about 4 hours with that. And I knew something was going to happen, so I called Tom, and I was like, hey, man, if, I don't know what's going to happen, but I just want to tell you, like, I love working with you. And he goes, I love you too, man. And we'll see what happens today, but I don't think anything's going to happen. And sure enough, it did. And then they brought me in, and I was pissed. I was like, how are you going to do this to me today? Like, I need Tom to talk about Klay Thompson. And they're like, well, don't be too pissed.
No other reasoning, just don't be too pissed.
Right behind this door, there's a hosting spot for you.
Yeah.
And they told me that, and I was like, I never thought in a million years they would say, you're going to be the host. And I was like, what? That's insane.
Right.
And then later on, Lund got the news of that, and he was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be here. And sure enough, they let him go, and that hurt. Both hurt. I got to know Tom, and I wanted to work with him. But Lund's the reason I'm at KNBR. Like, it's not people think like, oh, your dad got you the job. No, Lund went to the program director at the time and said, Derek's a good host. He's a good producer. If you're looking for someone to help out with a show, he's great, and I'll never forget he did that for me. So seeing him go, that was tough. But yeah, when they told me that we want you to take over, I was like, I have to think about this. And honestly, I was thinking in my mind, like, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it because I have no experience, and I know that what the response is going to be. It's going to be Derek, not Derek Papa, Greg's son, Derek Papa, gets the job. And he's not qualified. He's a Nepo baby, and I just didn't want all that shit. So I told them I'm going to think about it, but I honestly was telling people, like, I'm not going to do it. And talking more to people, they're like, dude, I get that, but it is what it is. Like, this is a fucking awesome opportunity. You got to take it. If it fails, whatever, but at least you tried.
Yeah. So
it would look worse if you didn't do it.
Right.
And you should go for it. So after a lot of counseling with friends and family, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And also I asked, the brass, well, what would happen if I didn't take this job? And they were like, well, we really haven't thought that through. And I was like, I don't know what happens.
Yeah.
We thought there's no world where that would even be possible.
You have to take this job. Otherwise, we don't know what's going to be here for you. So I was like, okay.
Yeah,
so,
Michael Connell might take over if you might do that. You can't have that happen.
We're gonna have Austin. It was gonna be Austin and Copes and Austin producing.
Yeah. So a year and some change later, I'm glad I did it because it's fun. And it's not something that, like, we're talking on the radio, talking about sports, we're dicking around, we're talking NBA grab bags, like, we're not digging ditches here. So I know we call ourselves dirty work. We're not doing dirty work. This is fun.
How do you deal with the? I'm sure it's been frustrating in the past, like all the nepotism stuff. How do you just block it all out, or do you kind of?
It comes with the territory.
Roll it, yeah.
Like, it bothers me, but at the same time, like, you know, it is what it is. I knew what I was getting into when I got into radio 10 years ago, and I got a job at another radio station, and
It must not be named.
I wanted to prove myself. I worked nights and weekends. I didn't want any favoritism just because I was Greg Papa's son.
Right.
But that, people are going to say that shit. You just got to deal with it. I just don't like it when, like I'm trying to give a take on the radio and people are like, well, what do you know, Nepo baby? And I'm like, just give me a chance. Like, please just give me a chance. That's all I ask for. But
You're like, I know a lot more than you. I grew up doing this shit.
exactly. But then you sound arrogant when you do that.
Yeah.
So I fully embrace that. And I'll be honest, I've worked in the industry with a lot of other kids that, got the opportunity because of their fathers. And I'm not gonna name any names, but
Jack Collinsworth?
I don't want to be like that. I want it to be where you don't think of my father, you think of just me. And I know that's gonna happen. That's natural to be
Right.
like, you're Greg's son. I get that. But I don't want it to define me, and I don't want it to be the reason why I got here. So I know every day I'm gonna have to prove myself, whether it's on the radio or producing. And yeah, I just want to have the attitude of, well, I'll coast because I'm Greg Papa's son. I don't want to do that. I think that's lame.
Yeah.
I've seen other people do that. I don't like that.
Totally.
Well, you're not very similar to your dad. I didn't even know that you were Greg Papa's son until maybe a month or two of working with you.
A month
Oh,
ago.
really?
Seriously,
Yeah, a month ago. Yeah.
I mean, and I
I was kind of shocked when I found out. I was like, "There's no way."
yeah. It's like, oh, this guy's bald. Where is Greg Papa's glorious hair? It skips a generation. Yeah, I think that's a compliment because
Because you hate your father? Oh my God, Derek!
He has cancer, man.
that's
We're
gonna be
posting
like-
this online.
that's gonna be the title of this this YouTube clip is Derek Papa hates Greg Papa. No, I did that as a compliment because like I just want to be different than my father. I just don't want to be like another carbon copy where I'm saying his takes. Like we differ on things. We're very different. Like I didn't, I got to visit my father in the summertime and Christmas time when I was on winter break or summer break. I didn't grow up with my dad. I visited my dad a lot, and I got to go to A's games or Raiders games, but I grew up with my mom, so I feel like I'm just different in that regard where I have a different view on life. I have a different personality than my father. We are similar in some ways, but yeah, we'll differ on takes. He loves John the Kaminga. I want to see him out, so yeah. Just
a hot take.
I appreciate that people when they say like, oh, I didn't know you were Greg's son, like at least you saw me a different way.
Yeah. You grew up with your mom. What did you primarily grow up in Oakland?
No, so I grew up all over the place.
You were in-
So I grew up where my mom and dad split. I went to live with her in San Francisco in the marina for a while.
Okay.
And we lived there for about a year.
You're like a little army brat, dude.
Oh yeah. Then we moved.
Marina Bro.
Yeah, exactly. Then
Marine
I
kid.
moved to Long Island with her in New York, where she lived with her parents for a little bit of time. So I lived in New York for about a year, and then my mom remarried, and we went to Denver, Colorado, Boulder, and I was there for 4 years. And then after that, my stepdad got a job. We moved to Sugar Land, Texas, near Houston. Was there for 10 years. Then I went to ASU. Yeah,
there you
for
go.
a semester.
One semester. You're
One
one of those guys.
I was
One of the
those
one
guys.
semester
There's
ASU
too much
guys.
partying going on. I was like,
Yeah.
guys, I got to focus on my studies.
Did the meth get you?
Yeah.
These are too distracting. These pool parties are too distracting.
Yeah.
So then
I'm tired of seeing all these tens.
I went to Austin, Texas.
You went to me.
Yeah.
I went to Austin Scott.
Not Scott.
I went to Austin, Texas, and went to UT, and that's one of my favorite places in the world. Was there for 4 years, 5 years, I should say. Didn't graduate in 4 years, and then I came back to the Bay Area to get into work, and yeah, I've been all over the
Yeah.
map.
Austin's a strange place. I went there for the first time a couple years ago. I kept calling it swampy Brooklyn. So I used to live in Brooklyn, and it was like this sort of like artsy kind of vibe with like the hipsters mixed in, the kind of art scene. But then it also kind of felt like a lot of people just gravitate towards like just going to the bars, getting drunk because it's like it's hot out, it's sweaty. There's not like it's not like like Northern California where people are going hiking and there's like a lot to do outside.
Right.
You're kind of just like you're going to the bar, you're going to the UT game, you're going to like a comedy show or whatever.
It's like that. I think there's also like beautiful spots where you go like
Like Travis.
Lake Travis or Barton Springs.
Barton Springs was awesome.
I always refer to it as like Berkeley of the South, where
Okay,
it's kind of like a hipster vibe. Like the phrase there is "keep Austin weird."
Yeah.
I loved it. It's a big UT crowd, or big UT town, I should say. They're all about UT football. They're not really like they don't want a professional team there. It's not a big enough city to have one, but yeah, no, I loved it. It was a mix of, like go get a good barbecue, or if you're a hipster, like it's the music scene there.
Music scene was pretty sick.
Yeah, and I love going like to ACL, South by Southwest was always there. So, no, I miss Austin, and never know what the future holds. But if there's one place I could move to, I probably would go there later on in life.
Wow, okay. And you were also in LA for a bit.
I was, yes.
That was when you were working at NFL Network, right?
Yes, for 3 years.
And what exactly was your role there?
I was a PA. So,
Physician's assistant.
correct. Production assistant.
Physician's assistant.
Not
You are worked at a dentist.
I want you in
huh?
that position.
You're the
What kind
assistant
of
to
job
the
is this?
position.
Nurse, scalpel.
So, yeah, that was in 2019, and, things were changing in radio. My father was leaving. He was going to KNBR, and I didn't know what the future, held for me at the other radio station, so I was like, I wanted, like, my dream job. I love football, and I've always wanted to work at NFL Network. I watch it 24/7, so I was like, what can I do over there? And I asked around and knew some people, and they were like, well, you could be a production assistant, but the thing is, it's not really more about football. It's more about television. You'll learn television for the first time.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, I could do that. So moved out to LA, got reunited with some of my close friends that I grew up with in Texas. They live out there, and it was different. It was not really what I was expecting. It was a good opportunity, and people, some people think like people exaggerate about the traffic in LA. No, it's legit.
No, it's horrible.
Okay, I've recently was listening to some podcasts where they were comparing LA traffic to Austin traffic, and they were saying like Austin traffic is incredibly.
I've heard it's
awful.
gotten worse
It's under-
over the years.
Yeah, I think it has. Well, Austin, you were saying Austin's not big enough for. I think it's big enough now for like.
Well, a lot of people
sports-
moved over, like during the
Austin's
pandemic.
massive now.
Yeah, like,
Austin's like a dog right
like the
now.
LA crowd that got tired of the California crowd, I should say, that got tired of the restrictions.
Yeah.
People were moving out to Arizona or Austin, and I've heard that like when I go back and see my friends, they're like, dude, the traffic is unbelievable now.
Yeah.
But LA, like I was living in Burbank, trying to go to Culver City every day, and
No.
it was
Yeah, that's a drive.
yeah, no, it took me 2 hours to get to work.
Jesus
Everything
Christ.
in LA is at least an hour from you.
Yeah, so I was beat down, but I
No
got
matter
to
where you
work.
are.
People say if you move to LA, you have to find a place next to work.
That's what people were telling me, and I said, no, I'm gonna move in with my friends.
No, I'm gonna move where I want to move.
I think LA's the worst city in America.
Wow.
I hate
I think-
LA.
Yes.
I think
yes.
hate LA.
Have you been to
I think it's awful.
Have you been to Scottsdale?
No, I've not been to Cleveland. And yes, I've been to Scottsdale.
I really
awful.
dislike LA, and I'd like to think I can remove just like the
What is something
anti-Dodger
about
stuff.
LA
There's some
that
beautiful spots of LA,
Of
though.
course. The beaches.
Yeah.
I don't
you
think
could
it's
just
the
deal
worst
with
city
the-
in LA, but
If you could just tolerate the traffic, it's fine.
it's just sprawl. The smog. I hate the smog.
Smog,
It's-
too.
there's not that much
Sprawl.
smog
It's
anymore.
elitist. There's smug people there.
The sprawl. You
Smog
never know
and
when
the
you're in
smog.
LA or if you're somewhere else. You're the kind of. The
I will
sprawl.
say it got a lot more fun when I moved to West Hollywood. West Hollywood. And I would
Hollywood
drive,
Nights.
and it was closer to where I was working. They moved the NFL Network studios to Inglewood, so it wasn't that bad. It took me like 30 minutes to get
Shout
to work.
out Dr. Dre.
Yeah, Inglewood. Inglewood always up to no good.
Would, yeah.
Beach,
I'm gonna
Inglewood.
run to the bathroom really quick. You guys keep going.
You're gonna run the back. Mid-off air?
It's
Yeah,
that,
mid-off
it's that
air.
serious, huh?
Jesus.
This is like during like the Rogan podcast when somebody's like,
Well,
I gotta go
folks,
pee really quick. And
Michael's
it's
got to
by
take
all
a
means.
shit.
like, no, I'm not going. I'm going.
You're not
So you want us to
I'm
keep
going
going?
up. I'm pumping.
Yeah.
You want us to keep
He's
going?
not looking good for the cameras,
I'm
guys.
pulling trig. Yeah.
You guys keep going.
All right.
what else you guys?
We have no
right.
idea what to do now that Michael's gone.
Yeah, he seemed more like the ringleader here.
He does. Yeah.
All right, Derek. As you were bouncing around America from the time you graduated until now, how has your sports fandom evolved? Is it easier because you're a Raiders fan and an A's fan, and like it's not directly correlated
bullet
with the
point.
teams you're talking about? What?
I think that you.
good?
So that was my bullet point.
Oh, he stole your
He stole my question.
Why don't you ask?
Well, now it's my question.
Derek, as you've been bouncing around the United States,
Yeah.
how has your fandom evolved? Like A's, Raiders, A's leading Raiders.
phrased it better.
He did phrase it better. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a kind of a big reason why I left back in 2019, because I was like, my teams are gone, so why would I stay in the Bay Area anymore? And it's not really about that. Like, I learned early on, like, your fandom shouldn't take over your job. Like, I remember going, you can ask JD about this. I remember covering the Warriors and Cavs NBA Finals where they lost in 7. They had a 3-1 lead.
This is one of my bullet points. I'll get to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of my bullet points.
You've heard the story.
I have.
I've not heard this story.
So I acted like a child.
Yeah.
They wanted me. They gave me a credential. They wanted me to cover they wanted me to tweet out like updates with the scores and everything, and cover post game and everything. So I would do that with JD. I showed up to every game, and I realized the Warriors were going to lose, and I was like, "Fuck, this is terrible. Like, what the fuck are we like? Oh God." So I didn't do my job. I stopped tweeting, and I showed up to JD, and he was like, "What are we doing, man? What are we doing? You're not gonna do anything?"
Yep.
And I was like, I was just so pissed they lost. He understood, but also it was very unprofessional.
Yeah.
And then I remember going to the post-game press conference where they were going to introduce LeBron James as MVP, and Steph Curry just took to the podium, and Steve talked, and Draymond talked, and I was like, man, everybody's just so depressed. I'm depressed. And then someone from the NBA Finals comes up and goes, coming up next is NBA Finals MVP LeBron James. Then I said out loud, well, I need to get the fuck out of here. And I said it a little too loud where well, people heard me. And I realized that I was stuck where people on the left, people on the right were moving in. And I was like, I can't really get out of here.
Yeah.
So I had to watch LeBron James come up with his children and smoking a cigar. And that was a lesson where no one gives a fuck what you think.
Right.
Like, this moment isn't about you. So since that time, I've always been where your fandom shouldn't define you when you talk about sports.
You got a job to do. Luckily, though, you're Greg Papa's son, so nothing bad happened.
So it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So
That's,
so survive that, but yeah, I kind of like the fact that I'm not a Niner fan or a Giants fan, and I can just talk about them honestly.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, that's fine. But I think, there's homerism when it comes to sports talk radio, and I'm never gonna just shit on your team for the hell of it, but I'm gonna give an honest take. Like, I think some people had a problem with me saying like, this Niner team is good, but I'm not buying them in the playoffs. And some people didn't like that. Some people were like, no, we see what you're talking about. So I don't want to be just, all sunshines and rainbows when it comes to the Giants and 49ers. I want to give you an honest opinion about it. And hopefully you respect that. If you don't, then go listen to some Homer podcast.
I remember I was on the way to a Kings game, like probably a year and a half ago, carpooling with JD. I don't even remember how the Cavs story popped. I think it was something along the lines. He told the story.
How does he remember?
He brought it up out of nowhere. He was like, Derek's a real piece of shit.
He told the story because
Austin.
it was because I'm not a Warriors fan, and it was something about like him being appreciative of me like staying locked in and professional like through ups and downs, and he was like, I got a story for you. And we're like on Davis on 80, and he's just like, yeah, Derek, big Warriors fan, but like Warriors lost, and he couldn't lock in, couldn't stay professional.
100%, he's right.
JD has not forgotten that.
Yeah,
I know.
If something happened 9 years ago, he won't forget.
Hey, you know what?
He won't forget.
That's fine.
You don't forget.
No, because I'll honestly, yes. Me and JD have talked about it too since then, and I'm like, I handled that poorly. I definitely should not have been given that opportunity because I was too immature to handle that moment. So I look back on that and be like, yeah, that was lame, Derek. You need to grow up.
So I'm obviously a big fan. I'm an emotional fan.
Yeah.
But the Cronkite in me, like the big J in me, has been hammered into me to the point where I think even if I were to have covered the Niners Super Bowl where they lost horrifically in overtime, I'm confident that I would have been able to put on a blank face and film stuff and record and stuff because it is so incumbent of the big J, right? Like the press box and the duties you have post game. I wouldn't have been happy about it, but I think I could have done that. But that scares me because I think of you as a pretty measured guy. And I guess you were what, like 24,
I
25?
was young. I was like young Tony's age. Like again, like they gave me the credential. I probably shouldn't have put in that position. I didn't really do a good job either. I was just like tweeting out the scores, but like,
which is so funny because like who's following that game on Twitter?
I'm not a digital guy. Like I don't know why they put me in that position, but since that time, I've realized like, I've kind of been. All like the sports fandom in me has been beaten out where it's like I work in sports.
Yeah.
So like you give a take, but at the same time it's like like I'm not gonna get my fandom's not gonna like impact my job.
I don't know how confident I would have been in Jack keeping his composure in Vegas. What do you think, Michael? I don't know. I'm not as confident.
With the
as you.
with the credential on it, with the logo on it, that would have been absolutely fine.
I think it's somewhere
I
between.
think you would have entered like a fugue state.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I would have
Just a
had to like
numbness
somewhat
state, a numbness
disassociate.
state.
Yeah. And then it all would have came crashing out like the
Later.
next day
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, or
And
like
a perfect-
right
At the hotel
minute we
bar
got
at
off,
like
probably.
11.
Yeah.
I don't get the way anymore. Like when it comes to like my teams, I guess
Well, your teams are all.
they're all
ass.
gone and they're all ass.
They're ass and gone.
Oh, thank you.
Let's call a spade here. They're ass and gone.
All right there. Okay, that's fair. Did you hear Max Crosby's coming back?
That's true. Let's talk about that Game 7 real quick.
Yeah,
The finals. How much did that suck? That was horrible.
it did suck. That's
They're
why
the best team ever,
I know.
and they didn't score for
It's
the
the
last
most
4
painful
minutes
loss,
of the game.
most painful loss I've ever seen live.
I would
lost your job.
trade.
Almost lost my job.
Well, luckily you're Greg Papa's son. I would trade 2017 and 18 for 2016 11 times out of 10.
No, because then you got Kevin Durant. Like whatever.
The KD stuff was
I think
stupid.
that's the right move. That team was 70. That was a 7-3-9 team, right?
Yeah.
So you cap off like the best season of all time.
Right, and then you don't have Durant.
and
Durant never comes,
and you
which
beat
is
LeBron.
fine. We might have won another one in that little era without Durant anyway.
Like that
We-
season.
we don't
was-
have to
Led
deal
some
with all
great
the-
basketball with Kevin Durant.
Right, but it was like watching the Globetrotters. It was kind of silly.
Yeah, but you know
It was
what?
almost too good.
Dude,
of basketball.
I was in the moment. I was anti-Durant, and I think that is.
Well, before
that
he
is
signed,
age.
I was like, we don't need him. And
No,
then he signed,
even when
I
he was
like,
there,
all right.
even when he was with us, I was like, this is silly.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
how I felt from the outside as a
Yeah.
non-Warriors fan.
No, I get it. And believe me, I totally understand.
It's like the Dodgers now.
I totally understand the perspective of non-Warriors fans be like, what the fuck? Like this is a cheat code already.
The
Like
team went 73-9,
Exactly.
and then they got the second
and
best
then,
player in the NBA.
And then when DeMarcus Cousins signed, people were just like, oh my God, well, this isn't fucking fair anymore.
Yeah.
No, I was like,
And then they got
fucking good
Alfonso
rid- I was
McKinney.
like, have fun with that. That was nice.
And that was a big time
Yeah.
signing.
No, but 2016, like if they win that, like it took 2022 to kind of redeem 2016. Because if they didn't win in 22, Steph's legacy would still be he won
won
one
one
time. There were
championship.
some injuries that year, and
But
then
he
he
needed
needed
KD
KD.
to win those.
2022 moved mountains for Steph's
agree.
legacy.
It did, and I always view that as like a Lifetime Achievement Award championship.
Totally. What they gonna say now?
Exactly. But also it was like, that team was good, but it was not as good as the other teams.
Right.
It vindicated Steph. It vindicated that first championship in 2015. Everything with like, they don't need Kevin Durant, like everybody talking shit about that. But I knew that was going to be probably the end. Like,
So did I.
and that's where like, that's where my fandom, like I'm still a Warriors fan. I'll watch the games, but at the same time, like they're not going to win another
No,
championship.
and that's okay.
That is okay.
They won
But you can't
four.
say that on the radio though.
This is my
I
dude.
brought that take up numerous times.
This is my take.
Well,
They
what the
won
hell, Derek? We're just gonna
four.
pack it in the next 2 years. I'm like,
Kinda.
What
Yeah.
do you think is
Just
the
enjoy
best,
Steph.
considering they got an aging Steph Curry now, and he's probably in the last few seasons of his career, but he's still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best case scenario for these next few years of the Warriors?
Without Steph or with Steph?
I mean, either way. Like, let's say they keep Steph.
So
Like-
you're saying he signs a contract with them and stays?
Yeah, like how do they make the best out of Steph's remaining tenure with the team? Like, how do they honor his legacy? You know,
Like going all out and trying to getting him a superstar
so
to play
you
with?
try to give it
You
one
try.
last shot for a championship.
Yeah, you try because
Yeah.
he's on borrowed time. He's going to be 40 in 2 years, and he's not going to play forever.
Yeah.
So rebuilding it with him at 40 years old doesn't make a ton of sense. Now, you're going to have to get a new coach because I don't think Steve's going to go past just one more year.
I think he's done it for this year. I think he's tired.
I think he's coming back. I think he's going to write it out with Steph and Draymond as far as their contracts. And Steph re-ups. Draymond probably retires soon, or gets traded for a superstar. But it's going for it. It's trying to win another championship.
I agree.
They missed the boat with trying to rebuild around Steph. They should have done that a couple years ago.
I agree.
I would have traded Clay. I would have traded Kuminga. I would have traded Draymond.
Traded Draymond.
Yep.
No matter who they do or don't acquire, I just feel like one more legit like run. I think Warriors fans would be grateful.
I mean, Steph has it in him.
I kind of
like
disagree.
get into like even a semifinals, even
I think they missed the boat.
final
They
eight.
did that last year.
did, but Steph
I
got
think they
hurt.
missed the boat.
So
bro.
what do they do now for the next
that
3
could
years?
I
have
don't
been the
think
year.
it would be
That
a
might have been the
bad
year.
thing. I wouldn't
blow it up?
I wouldn't. I would root for Steph on the Charlotte Hornets or something like that.
Okay.
He's not leaving.
You don't think he's leaving?
I don't think he's going to that team.
No, I don't think.
I just say that because he's from there.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think he's.
Give me like a contending team.
Sure, but I would
He's
root
going to
for
Boston Celtics.
Steph
or-
is my favorite athlete of all time, and that says a lot because the Warriors are like my third in terms of Giants, Niners, Warriors. Like the Warriors are pretty significantly a third there, but Steph is my favorite athlete of all time. Yeah. And I will pull for it. I think it's over for the Warriors, and like I said, that's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
But like, if Steph were to go for a 5th ring with someone else, I'd be gung ho.
Oh, I would totally understand it for Steph. I would like almost be like rooting for Steph. Like I hope you get that other ring.
Warriors fans would be beside themselves, but I would totally understand it. But I don't think he's going to do that.
I think it's important to him to play his entire career with the Warriors.
I think the Warriors owe it to Steph to go gung ho all out to try to get him another ring, like one last dance.
And they're trying. I think I never want.
Well, they try to do the 2 timeline.
I know. You know,
Let's talk Kuminga.
One thing I can't stand though is like in sports talk radio, what the hell is Mike Dunleavy Jr. doing? Like, what is he doing? Well, he traded Jimmy Butler. I mean, he traded for Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
He's trying to make moves.
This whole idea that people aren't trying.
Yeah, I know.
Like.
Is he doing a good enough job?
Yeah, like Buster Posey's. Like the Giants aren't trying to win a ring.
Yeah, I have a big issue. One thing I will say, like with being on the radio, I have a hard time like calling for someone's job. Like that's not my personality.
You can't mess with their W-2.
I know.
As Brian Murphy says.
And I hate like, you know, like if someone did that to me, I'd be like, well, that sucks. Like, fuck you. I'm trying to make a living here. But like we do that in sports. It happened last year with Bob Melvin, and I understand that. But like
they make a lot of money.
I don't make a lot of money, but also it's just like, who am I? I'm just a guy on the radio. Like, you should lose your job. We don't know what fucking happens behind closed doors.
Yeah. Someone said that about you?
Yeah, seriously.
Right. No, but
I mean, people do say it a lot.
Yeah, they do.
I feel more comfortable calling for people's jobs when they make $5 million a year. Than I wouldn't call for someone's job if they're making.
But like, what qualifies
60K.
me or any radio host to be like, hey, this guy should be fired?
Yeah.
Because you got an opinion and you're well spoken.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe this is because I'm a Kings fan, but I cannot comprehend Steve Kerr hate. I don't understand.
I agree with you.
It's the most baffling thing to me.
Especially you talk about Steph's legacy in 2022. I think that also really helped Kerr's legacy too, to win that 4th ring.
Kerr's like the
They
winningest.
could win 20 games a year for the rest of the time until he retires. And like, I don't understand how a single Warriors fan could be like, Steve Kerr should be fired. Like Steve Kerr will step down or retire when he's done.
It's okay to say time's up, but the hate is like the
could you
vitriol
hate
with
Steve
the
Kerr?
vitriol.
Time's
against
up
Kerr
as
is
in
crazy.
like, we got to eventually move on here.
Yeah, like we're saying, like, it's over.
Yeah, I know.
Like Steelers fans don't hate Mike Tomlin.
No, correct. Exactly.
but
some do.
I guess some do, but some Warriors fans hate Kuminga. But
Mike Tomlin won
there's a
one
difference
ring.
in saying it's time to move on, but I appreciate and love this guy versus Steve Kerr, who rode the coattails of Michael Jordan and Steph Curry to all his titles.
Yeah,
He's
that's
a fraud.
bullshit.
Like
It's all bullshit.
he's won what, 11 championships?
Yes.
Steve Kerr, player and coach.
Gold
No,
medal.
I never understand that hate. Like I
an
never
accident.
understand the Kyle Shanahan hate. I never understand the Steve Kerr hate. I don't think Bay Area fans know how good they have it when they're with their head coaches, especially Kyle.
I think any
Especially Kyle.
I think any Steve Kerr hate coming from Warriors fans is really contributing to the stereotype of the unappreciative, spoiled Golden State Warriors fan.
Yes, because you don't know what it's like, man. You haven't seen things. You haven't seen the
Sohan.
Chris Cohan days where this team
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
So like, be grateful for what you have.
But you can hate Kyle for second half of Super Bowl coaching. Like,
No, you can't hate it. You shouldn't hate
you
it.
could.
Hate?
Yeah.
Question it.
You
I'm
could
not.
hate. You
can
could,
question
as
it.
a Niner fan, you could hate Kyle Shanahan because he might have blown 2 Super Bowls. Sure.
I mean, Austin,
you should
if
hate
they,
him.
I'm not a Niners
if they
fan, I'm just
stop
saying.
him, if they stop the Chiefs on 4th and 1, like they win the Super Bowl regardless.
I think you
of
can
Shanahan.
criticize him for it. I don't think you can judge
Yeah.
his entire career off.
I'm
of
just
that.
wanna
thinking
fire a man over that
of
decision?
I'm just
Come on.
thinking of Niners fans that are internet breathers that
Right,
like
the
just
Grant-
want to
Grant
hate.
Cohn's
But
select.
that's-
You could isolate
fan
that
base now.
and say that I
Yeah.
don't like Kyle Shanahan sucks because we can't win the Super Bowl.
and we're saying that's
Steve
dumb.
Kerr won 4 championships. You can't hate him.
No, you can't.
How
Yeah,
can you
yeah.
hate him?
He has a better case than Kyle Shanahan.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, he does. But I think that's just.
I also think Shanahan though does have more of a hand in his team's success than
That's
Kerr
also a
does.
fair point.
No, he does.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree. with that.
100% he does. But that's just fans today. People are unreasonable. And there's more, there's more outlets for people to complain. There's podcasts, there's social
But
media.
it's all reactionary. They
It
have
is.
To,
And I don't think like people are measured or
No.
reasonable with their takes anymore. So it's just fire this guy.
Yeah.
It's insane to me. You do not know how good you have it with Kyle Shanahan and Steve Kerr. So shut up.
And Tony Vitello.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Jury's out.
You gotta do a roundup.
Roundup?
You gotta do a rundown.
Well, keep going. What time is
Let's,
it?
well, let's
It's 11:40.
go back to the go back to the beer segment really quick. Austin, did you finish your beer?
It's gone. I think I finished it first.
Let me
actually.
see that.
You
Michael,
finished
it's
all of
gone.
them first.
Michael,
Yeah.
You
Michael,
take it like
I
it's
finished
medicine.
mine.
All right.
It's gone, man.
You
I
take
think
it.
I finished mine first, actually.
You take it like medicine. You're,
How did
you
you
always
do?
get done first.
My new rule is that I hold my beer right here until it's gone. I don't set it down.
So what was did you enjoy it, or were you kind of getting through it?
In between, like I got through it. It was not like I didn't feel like I was suffering, but I
Okay,
wasn't like
that's progress.
But
That's
I wasn't like, wow, this is pretty good. Like I'd order this.
Now,
Like,
what
I would-
tasted better, my pinky or the beer?
Your pinky. That was
He's
a
just
that
legitimately
was a
thinking about
once
it.
in a lifetime experience.
Your
awesome.
pinky probably.
That's
It
gonna be
had
awesome.
I don't
notes
know
of-
if I'll ever experience the thrill of sucking your pinky again.
The pinky had notes of hand soap. It had notes of keyboard.
Yeah. I know some Doritos.
Yeah, notes of the gear shifter in
Power
your car.
rankings though, Kona Big Waves #1.
Okay, so I was just gonna. I'm doing a rankings. I'm doing a beer power.
All right,
Kona
let's
Big
do it real
Wave.
quick. Kona Big Wave
A little
#1.
bit of cheese it too with that pinky.
Is this the third one? We
the
didn't do one for one of the
fourth one, I
episodes.
think.
We did one during the
This
dry
is the fourth
run.
one. You were counting the dry run.
Did
we do one
the
with the
dry
Murphy? No, we
run
didn't do the
was
Murphy.
#2. Well, I don't remember
What
what
did
that
we
was.
have for that?
It was a golden ale.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it
yeah,
was.
it was. They've all been like
Some brewery that
they've all
Tim
been like
liked or
blonde
something.
golden ales except for
Yeah,
that one IPA.
this one was third.
But I feel like we're definitely like we're on the way of reaching our goal.
You are.
Yeah.
We're making
We-
Should we
progress.
do like
established
Bud Light
that.
next time? Like give out. Like,
Yeah,
give
sure.
out some
We should
domestic?
start getting creative with our choices. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
I brought this one
If you're
because
doing Bud Light, get John Curley on. He's a big Bud Light guy.
he is a big Bud Light.
Yeah, the West Coast
I
is
love that
last.
about it.
The
That's
one
awesome.
last week was definitely last.
I respect people that like shitty beers.
Well, so do you like this or the dry run golden ale better?
The dry run better.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this one is the
Third.
Eel River.
You've gone from like really not like being willing to even take a sip of beer
We're really getting somewhere, man.
to
this is
like
no, this is
very
not
much
swimming.
tolerating beer, and
Yeah.
that's only 4 episodes.
like I could go to a bar and drink a beer and be cool.
That's. I
Yeah.
want you to do that.
You don't have to humiliate yourself anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if I drink 4. Like, you know,
That's
I
okay.
Well,
would-
the,
you
the,
could
can
say
drink
the,
one
the
you
great
could
part
say
is,
a normal
Austin,
person does.
the more you have, the easier they go down.
That is also true. You should have that last one.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
well, he's at work.
It's before noon. I don't want to get drunk on the
It is
job,
before
guys.
noon. It is before noon.
It is before noon. Well, I'm good. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Anything else? I'm
I
looking
guess,
through
all right,
everything else.
real quick. I kind of want to, I mean, Marcus asked us a question last week, and I kind of want to just hit it with you. Just for you, what does the future of radio/media look like under the KNBR sports leader umbrella?
Ooh.
Whether it's your show, us as a collective, how do we keep breathing?
People need to listen. People need to watch. I don't know. Like, I'm curious.
The fuck? What
That's
are we
fair.
doing?
No, that's fair.
Well, no,
that's fair.
I'm curious what Marcus's answer was.
Well, Marcus asked us the question.
he asked
He
that-
returned it to us.
Well, I'm curious what you guys think because honestly, I don't know how long we have. Like, I'm just being real. Like, things have changed in radio. You know, we've changed things. We're on the stream now. It's a different type of platform, and people do listen to podcasts. So, I still think people still listen to the radio, but I don't know how much longer it's going to be because we're seeing that across different type of platforms. Whether it's movies, people want to stay at home now, watch Netflix. It's changing. So I don't know. I'm just happy I'm in it, and I'll go down with the ship.
love
but
that.
I really don't know how long we have to be
That's
honest.
an awesome answer.
I think radio is still the only medium where you get this very unique segment of like the call-in listener.
Yes.
And I think we and other radio stations, if they want to keep this thing going, I think we have to lean into that.
I agree
know.
with that. Yeah.
More calls.
Because there's only so much you could get as far as like a personality of a caller through like comments, like like people that do YouTube
It's
chats.
way different. You can't.
It's way different.
A host reading YouTube comments is not like having a conversation with some guy, driving down 5.
The Condoleezza Rice guy.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Bronco.
Yes.
He was like.
No,
this
that
is-
leads to great moments. That leads to great interactions. Somehow, some way, Walter Iqbal-Seta is able to take callers on his podcast, and I hear all the time from
We need to get that.
the
going.
people that are in the YouTube chats, Ernie and AJ Cruz and Rocky Rivera, be like,
Ramirez.
"Hey, Derek, how come you don't do that shit on your podcast?" And I'm like, "Cause I don't know fucking how to do that." Walter does.
It's hard, dude.
It is.
Yeah, I think that is one of the big ways that radio sort of like finds its niche and competes with podcasting.
I agree. Yeah.
And also like even maybe sort of incorporates it in their version of podcasting, which is maybe what we should do.
And to stay adaptable and to be very video forward.
Look,
Yeah, I know.
Adapt or die.
Adapt or die. And same thing I told Marcus, and I beat this drum a lot, is we got to get the hosts more off-air content, like doing stuff at games, doing like short-form videos, long-form videos. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
I think that's a big
You get to know me. So,
the life raft.
any other personal questions? My favorite curse
Personal
word?
question.
No, you didn't really give us anything on the divorce.
Yeah, after that we kind of
It was me.
Yeah.
My existence.
I blame
As an-
myself.
as an
every
infant.
day. What is your favorite curse word?
Ooh.
I thought you had some in the bag.
No, I just did it as a joke. I mean, fuck's so
Poop.
easy.
It's definitely poop.
One that made me laugh always is someone says, like, if someone refers to duty or his poop as duty, that always just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I'm a child in that regard. It's not a curse word, but it's just a funny word.
It is your goddamn duty.
Exactly. I'm like, you're talking about poop.
You're like in the army, like at boot camp.
I could never be.
You start laughing.
I can never be like in Full Metal Jacket where people are like, "Yeah, come on, Sergeant, this is your duty."
Derek Papa.
Sergeant Papa.
Yeah, I'm a child.
Cadet Papa.
I'm a fucking child. I laugh at duty.
Derek Papa.
How does
Episode 5.
how does being a sports radio host
Oh,
help your?
whoa.
How does being a sports
That's
radio
such
host?
a
question.
foul ball.
It's
Austin.
time for
No,
a bonus
I had a
question.
question. You can wrap this up.
No,
whenever.
bonus question. Go ahead.
Yeah, how does being a sports radio host help your love life?
Oh, talk about a
Oh.
bonus question.
It hurts it actively.
How does it help
All right,
your love
wrap
life?
it up
Yeah.
after this answer. There you go.
Yeah, like the people. Like, if I'm trying to like hit on like a woman at a bar, like, "Oh, you had that shitty ass take last week. I'm not sleeping with you."
Wait, are you implying that having a radio show is like better for a love life?
I'm saying you're a sports radio host is kind of a cool flex.
I
I
don't
think
flaunt
for
that.
maybe for men from the ages of 50 to 70.
Yeah. No, honestly,
I
more
don't know what his type is. I
like
mean,
if anybody that's into our show, it's mostly dudes. And like that's the thing I learned a long time ago. Like Rick will have this great quote where it's like, he'll go to a bar and just be like, "Hey, ladies, you know what I do for a living? I talk about men all the time."
Yeah.
So like women don't gravitate towards that. No.
Yeah. Now podcasting on the other
Now
hand.
podcasting, you get a ton of ass. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Derek Papa.
Derek Papa.
All right. There we go.
All right.